Aquarius, what's going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Aquarius love reading. Today we're going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest here in December 2025. So let's get started and let's get one card for what's the mutual point of interest between Aquarius and their romantic person of interest. Okay, that was easy. What's going on with you, Aquarius? It's been a minute. What's going on with Aquarius as it relates to their romantic person of interest and the connection between them? We're not taking that many, are we? Okay, well, those came out together at the end. So normally I get 3 cards. I just got 3 cards for your last spot here. What do we have? I'm going to take them all together because they came out that way. And what's going on with your person, Aquarius? What's going on with Aquarius's romantic person? Really? This is going to be one of those days, I can tell. Looks like we got a lot of shit to talk about. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading, 10 of Cups. This is Pisces energy. This is the happily ever after card, the happy fairy tale romance, the happy fairy tale love connection, the happy fairy tale ending that we all dream about. Very rarely is that what this card is talking to me about. Usually it's not talking to me about literal happily ever after as much as it's talking to me about someone's point of view on it, someone's idealized point of view on it. If we zoom back for a second and look at this logically, if you actually had the 10 of Cups with this person, would you be here right now watching a tarot love reading, trying to get insight and guidance on what the hell's going on in your relationship? The answer to that is no, you would not be. You would just be off living your life and have absolutely zero need for what I'm doing right here. So this is very rarely talking about legitimate happily ever after, and much more usually it's talking about someone's idealized point of view on that. Looking at the relationship for how I wish it was or how I want it to be instead of what it actually is. I got Queen of Pentacles right behind that. This is Capricorn energy. This is usually wife type of an energy. It doesn't always have to be like legally married wife. It can just represent, someone building their life around you, committed girlfriend, fiance, someone that I live with. It can be that kind of an energy here. But I got happily ever after tied to that idea. And then right behind it is the Empress. This is the mother of the tarot deck. She's always pregnant. She's always giving birth to something. In a love reading, she represents the birth of something new, as in usually the birth of a new relationship, a new connection. So I've got that going on in the background of happily ever after wife type energy here. That's the overall gist of what it looks like this is going to talk to me about. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in some way here in December 2025, Aquarius. It doesn't always affect you both the same way. Sometimes they do this and you feel the consequences, or vice versa. Sometimes they say or do something and it makes you feel or act this way. Sometimes it's legitimately something external to both of you that's just affecting you both. But we got the Hierophant. This is the Taurus Major Arcana card. This is a marriage card. It's a card of commitment, taking things to the next level, being fully committed to a relationship, either being married or going in that kind of a direction here. So let's see what we got going on with that. Tell me more about the Hierophant. Why is that the mutual point of interest between Aquarius, and their person of interest? What do we got here? 2 sides to the same coin, huh? Below the surface of this Hierophant, we get the 5 of Cups. This is Scorpio energy. 5s are conflict. The Hierophant is the 5 of the Major Arcana. It rules over the conflicts in the deck. I've got a conflict in your energy. I got a conflict below the surface here. This is an emotional conflict. This is sadness and remorse about the past. It can be regrets. It's a negative set of emotions where, like, you see the person on the cards dressed all in black, their head is hung down, they're mourning the loss of these 3 cups. The 3 cups that are spilled represents being together, being united and celebrating. And all of that being spilled, the love and emotions, the time, effort, and energy that's been spilled and wasted. And this person has their focus on the loss of something. And at its core, that's what this card is really about. Whatever you focus on is going to dictate to you what emotions you experience. So here, when you're focused on something that you've lost, you feel the loss. If you're focused on something that you think is missing from your life, you're going to feel that gap in your life. There are two upright cups in the background here, which represents the thing that you still have that you could be happy about if you shifted your focus to that instead of what you don't have. Now, it's also kind of in the card that 3 cups are bigger than 2 cups, which is why your focus automatically goes to the 3 cups. It just weighs more. So it's going to take like conscious effort to shift your focus and maintain like keeping an eye on your focus so that it stays where you tell it to go. Now, in another sense, these 2 upright cups in the background can represent I still feel the connection to this person, which is why my focus is still on not having it. Now, in the really negative sense, the 3 cups that are spilled, 3 cups can represent a third-party love triangle, and that could be the thing that spilled it. And in that case, the 2 cups in the background would represent another connection looming in the background. Way too early to tell that yet. Way too early to tell that yet. Behind this 5 of cups, 9 of swords, Gemini energy of fear, worry, and anxiety. And stress. This is thinking about something over and over again with all this fear and worry behind your thinking, and doing that to the point that it becomes physically stressful. This can represent sleepless nights. I can't concentrate on what I'm doing. I'm having nightmares. Can't eat. It's mental anguish. Not a pleasant spot. Notice the person has their eyes covered with their hands, and it's because there's something so bad about this in terms of how I'm thinking about it that I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to face it. I've got all this sadness and remorse and fear, worry, and anxiety. And then 2 of Pentacles behind that, Capricorn energy. 2s are choices. And this is some sort of a physical choice between these 2 things, and I can't have both of them, and I have to pick this one or that one. Do I or don't I? Should I or shouldn't I? It's some kind of like off balance, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, not fully made up my mind kind of an energy where I'm still weighing the options and I'm looking at the pros and cons and I'm trying to make this choice. Sometimes this can represent someone juggling 2 people. If that's the case, that's the thing that I'm worried about or that I'm afraid of, the thing that I don't want to see. None of that is matching up with happily ever after as the overall energy. When I clarify the Hierophant, this idea of marriage or commitment or taking things to the next level, I get the King of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. King of Swords is Aquarius energy. Like the first thing I noticed when I saw this, I got 2 very different kings out here. And in the middle of them is some new physical opportunity presenting itself. I don't know if this is trying to tell me you've got a person that has 2 very different sides to them, or if there's 2 masculine energies involved here. King of Swords, like I said, is Aquarius energy. This is the very smart, logical thinker. This is someone who's making their decisions not based on how I feel. They usually throw their emotions out the window. This is someone who's looking at the truth and the facts and what can I see right in front of me and what can I verify with my own eyes. I'm going to decide based on what I know to be true and not based on how I feel about something. Now that can sometimes feel like someone who's cold and calculated. It can feel like someone who's emotionally distant or emotionally detached. Then I get this Ace of Pentacles tied to that kind of an energy. It's happening during a commitment, but this Ace of Pentacles is a new physical opportunity presenting itself. It's not an idea or a concept. It's a physical thing that I can touch. And there's definitely some sort of a decision about this new opportunity because I've got 2 kings next to it, decision-making energies. King of Cups is basically the counterbalance to the King of Swords. This is Scorpio energy. It's someone who's very in touch with their emotions, very intuitive. It's also someone who probably has a lot of love and emotions for you, or you have a lot of love and emotions for them, but it's also someone who doesn't wear their heart on their sleeve. The King of Cups doesn't publicly broadcast how he feels most of the time. You can see on his face, it's just expressionless, but the water, the emotions around his feet are rough and choppy, which can mean rough, choppy emotions, emotional turmoil, but you can't really tell that by looking at him. So this can be someone who loves you and you don't really know because they don't express it. It can also be someone who's going through emotional turmoil right now, probably based on some new opportunity, and you may not know that either. But I've got two opposing ways of making decisions. Like I said, the King of Swords is prone to throw the emotions out the window and decide based on hard logic, and the King of Cups is prone to throw logic and reason out the window and decide based on how I feel about something. So we've got some sort of a conflict happening here related to commitment and new opportunity. That is the shared energy that affects you both here in December 2025, Aquarius. Not uncommon at all at the early stages of these readings. I don't fully understand what the hell it's trying to tell me just yet. So I will come back to that as I go through your energy, because then I can see how that applies to you. I'll come back to it again when I go through your person's energy. For you, the first card is the most important. We got the Five of Wands. Central to your energy is strength. And your final card came out as 3 all at once. I got the Page of Cups, the Chariot, and the 3 of Wands. That's interesting in and of itself. This 5 of Wands is Leo energy. Again, 5s are conflict. This is a conflict in my desires, an internal conflict where a piece of me wants this and another piece of me wants pretty much the opposite of that. And now I'm playing this internal battle of tug of war inside myself, inside of what is it that I actually want. It's scattered and like conflicted kind of an energy there. Tell me about this 5 of Wands. Not uncommon either that the first card and all the clarifiers for that end up being something related to your person showing up in your energy, because whatever they have going on could be affecting you really strongly. I do see 2 different kings out here in the shared energy with some new opportunity. So that internal conflict might be theirs and it's just affecting you. Tell me more about this. So you might have an internal conflict because you might have an opportunity with 2 different masculine energies. We're not taking half the deck, please. Thank you. Let's see what we have here. Below the surface of this 5 of Wands is the Emperor. This is the Aries Major Arcana card. This is an energy of control. It's about taking control, taking charge of a situation. This is a master manifester in the sense of it's a person who has all the tools, abilities, and resources to put together the plan to get what they want and then execute that plan. About taking control and setting the boundaries and laying down the rules here. Very rarely is this showing up as the person that I'm reading for, like you in this case. This is almost always the other person or some external person who actually is running the show, who's actually in charge of what's happening here. Yeah, I got the Emperor in charge of the Hierophant, which is the shared energy affecting you both. The commitment, the marriage. Like this is someone who's kind of blocking this or someone who is taking control of it. When I clarify this 5 of Wands, I get the Page of Cups, the 2 of Wands, and the 4 of Cups. Page of Cups. Pages are messengers. So this is news, messages, and communications about love and emotions, lovey-dovey messages, flirty behavior, expressing how I feel about something. So this can be, you have some conflict. This can sometimes be an apology even. So this could be there's someone here who's got a new opportunity and maybe they're communicating with someone else. Maybe something has gone wrong and they're apologizing to you about it. We have some sort of a conflict tied to either communicating about lovey-dovey stuff or a conflict about an apology. One of the two. I got 2 of Wands to go with that next. Aries energy. 2s are choices. So this is that fork in the road. It's a crossroads in your life, crossroads in this connection. It's a decision point about what is it I want my life to be like and which of these 2 paths is going to get me to that. But you can't turn left and right at the same time. So you have to pick one. So it's about not just which path am I going to go down, but which path am I going to leave behind me in order to get what I want. And then I get the Four of Cups, which is Cancer energy of not being fully emotionally happy or content with what I have right in front of me. So much so that I'm daydreaming about this other cup, this other thing that I believe might give me my happiness if I had that. There's a choice here about what someone wants and an internal conflict about, like, pages are not fully developed energy. This can be something new happening, communications with someone, some new opportunity is showing up here. That Ace of Cups would also be a new opportunity. I'm not fully happy with the Three Cups. And Three Cups has two meanings. It's either about being together, and I'm not happy together, and I've got this other person on my mind that would make me happy. The Three Cups can also sometimes represent a third-party love triangle because there are three cups of love in the picture, and maybe it's a case of where I can't get that other person they brought in out of my head. It could even be a case of where there's this conflict. Maybe someone's apologizing and trying to, like, get things back together. Maybe trying to rebirth this connection. And now you've got some choice that you're conflicted about based on what you want, because there's a piece of you that's not happy here. That could also be, like I said, this person's baggage showing up here, and maybe they're the one that has the internal conflict because a new opportunity pops up while they're already in a committed connection. Maybe they've been talking lovey-dovey to somebody and now they have a choice to make, and that's showing up here because it's affecting you. So take that part however it applies to you. Central for your energy, Aquarius, is Strength. This is the Leo Major Arcana card. This is about going through something very difficult, and it takes all of your internal strength to make it through it. You have the strength to make it through it. You're just going to be forced to dig down inside yourself and find that strength and tap into that strength and put it to use. Now, it can also represent someone trying to tame this beast inside themselves. In other words, they have this urge or this impulse or this desire, and another part of them realizes that's probably a stupid idea, so it's trying to, like, contain that piece so that I don't make a mistake and mess something up. So let's clarify that and see what else we can find out. Why is Strength the central card for Aquarius here in December 2025, ladies? Below the surface of that Strength energy, Queen of Cups. This is Cancer energy. This is about you having all this love and emotions for the other person here. Notice, though, the Queen of Cups is the only queen, the only character in the whole deck that has a lid on top of her cup. And she does that as a way to protect her emotions from getting contaminated. She doesn't want anything getting in her emotions and messing her up. She's been through that before. So this is what she wants to do, is take the lid off the cup and pour her love into someone. She's just guarded and hesitant so she doesn't get hurt here. Yeah, Five of Cups. You've been hurt already. Scorpio energy, sadness, remorse, regrets, emotional loss. Nine of Swords, Gemini energy, fear, worry, and anxiety, and stress. We've already seen that at some point. There's something here that I don't want to see. Yeah, the birth of something new. There's the Empress again. I don't want that to be the case. Now, if this is a case of, like, rebirthing a connection, there's a piece of you struggling with that because you don't want to get hurt again and you're worried about it. Could be either one of those. Hell, it could be both at the same time. When I clarify Strength, I get Nine of Wands, the Chariot, King of Wands, Ten of Swords. Nine of Wands is Sagittarius energy. This is a walled-off defensive energy. This is also an energy of healing. This is the wounded warrior, and he's built this wall around himself as a way to protect himself so he doesn't get hurt anymore, so he doesn't continue to get hurt. He wants to heal so he can get his energy right and take the next step in his journey here. So this can indicate that your walls are up because you've been hurt, because you're going through something difficult, and because you still have all these emotions for this person. This can sometimes just represent that there's a barrier in the way. I did see the Emperor before, the person who sets the boundaries on things. Next, I have the Chariot, which is Cancer's major arcana card. I feel like I've said Cancer a few times. I've said Leo a few times, Aries a couple of times. I got some Aquarius, some Scorpio, some Virgo, some more Aquarius, some Taurus, some Pisces. You could be dealing with any of those signs, so you could be dealing with any sign. This is a general collective reading, so it's going to be impossible for me to pin down exactly who you're dealing with as an individual person, because I'm not tapping into your specific energy as an individual person the same way I would if I was doing a personal reading with you and it's just you and me one-on-one. Here I'm tapping into like tens of thousands of Aquarius people all at once, so I'm just going to keep calling these signs out as they stick out to me just in case they mean anything. But this is Cancer energy. This is the fastest moving energy in the deck. It's about like overcoming the obstacles and moving forward very fast, successfully. It's the underlying will to overcome the problem or the challenge or the barrier that's in your way, and it's trying to get past it through willpower alone. There is an internal conflict present in this card. The Black Sphinx, the White Sphinx, that represents the shadow side, the light side, and the driver doesn't have any reins to control this. So if both of those parts of yourself aren't pulling in the same direction, this thing isn't going to go anywhere. Or worse yet, it's going to rip itself in half as it tries to move forward, going two different directions at once. Your very first card is an internal conflict where a piece of me wants this and another piece of me wants this other thing, and I'm torn and conflicted about what to do. Clearly have been hurt here. This is about moving forward successfully and getting past something, but we have a choice connected to it about what do you want your life to be like and which direction are you moving in, because you can't go both ways at the same time. Next, I have the King of Wands, which is Leo energy again. This is the third king I've got out here on the table now. I don't know if that's telling me there's three different sides to your person, or this is the version of them that you want. This would be the one that there's passion and desire and attraction for. This could be about you knowing exactly what you want and going after it and not taking no for an answer. I don't know that that's what it's talking about. I think it's talking about your person. This is the passion, desire, like the highest level of that suit. So this can be someone who's not just driven and motivated, but they're driven and motivated by passion, desire, sexual energy, knowing what they want, and maybe them not being fully happy or content. And maybe there's someone else that they've got there in the background. Then I get 10 of Swords, which is Gemini energy, swift, painful ending you don't see coming, ending in betrayal, tied directly to this passion, desire driven kind of an energy. Final card for you came out as 3 all at once. Page of Cups, the Chariot again, and the 3 of Wands. Page of Cups, we've already seen, that was your first clarifier. Lovey-dovey messages, communications, or messages about love and emotions, flirtatious behavior, can even represent an apology. And then we've got the Chariot. Again, very fast moving energy. It's about overcoming the obstacles in the way, or at least the will to do that. But there is still that internal conflict present. And then I get the 3 of Wands with that Aries energy of essentially waiting on something. This is like, it's the card that comes after this 2 of Wands, where I'm at this fork in the road. What do I want my life to be like, and which way do I go to get there? In this card, that decision's already been made. The path has been chosen. Actions have been taken already. And there's this positive expectancy that the thing that I want is going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet, and I'm kind of stuck waiting on it. Looks like I'm waiting on the ability to overcome this and move forward. Maybe you're waiting on an apology. Let's see what we have here. Tell me more about this Page of Cups, Chariot, 3 of Wands, please. Come here. Well, that might be what you're struggling with. Below the surface of that, 4 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, holding on tightly to something, not wanting to let go of it. This looks like you waiting on them to either express the right feelings to you or an apology. And it looks like, from your point of view, that apology or the expressing of feelings is required to be able to move past this. And you're struggling with that and conflicted with that, probably because you're not seeing what you need to see to happen, and you're still waiting on it and still trying to hold on to it. Yeah, still trying to hold on to the emperor, the person who's actually in control of whatever you're waiting on actually happening or not. They're in control of this commitment, the Hierophant again. That's probably why I've got 2 kings in this commitment here, because they have 2 votes and you seem to not have any. And they've got some new opportunity is what it looks like. When I clarify this Page of Cups, Chariot, 3 of Wands, 3 of Swords, 9 of Cups, Strength again. 3 of Swords is Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness, usually from a third energy. The third energy is not always a romantic third party, although it definitely can be. The third energy can be working too much, like partying too much, just spending too much time playing video games. Like anything can be that third energy. But we've got something here causing some kind of a problem. There's a barrier in the way. Connected directly to this 3 of Swords is the Page of Cups, and in the same row is the Page of Cups again. So it looks to me like there's someone else in the picture that's getting communicated with. 9 of Cups is next. This is Pisces energy. This is a step backwards from the 10 of Cups here. This is single energy. This is like being emotionally single, emotionally independent. It can also represent personal happiness, personal wish fulfillment. That could be this other person has kind of broken your heart. You have your happiness tied to them. Your happiness is involved in like waiting on them to express the right feelings and waiting for us to move forward and get past this. My happiness is tied to overcoming this. But there's a choice that has to happen here about what do you want your life to be like. This might be a case of where you're waiting on them to make their choice, but you have a choice in the matter too. It's not they get all the say and you get none. That's not correct. The other thing that this could represent is this person's personal happiness is more important than yours, at least from their point of view. And that's the real challenge that needs overcome. If someone else's happiness that you're with is more important than yours to them, you got a choice to make. And am I going to stay and put up with that? Or do I go a different path to find someone who's going to value me more than that? Next card here to clarify that is the Strength card. We've already seen that. That was your central energy here. So I've got it in both decks for you. Going through something very difficult that's taking all of your internal strength to make it through that. Can also represent someone trying to tame this beast inside themselves, trying to rein those urges and impulses and desires in. It's sitting right beside King of Wands. We already saw the person who does their decision making with their head and the person who does their decision making with their heart. And this one can be prone to make their decisions with the wrong head, if you understand what I mean there. That could also be part of the barrier that's in the way. The thing that really needs overcome isn't necessarily yours as much as it is theirs. But the Strength card is probably a little bit of both. You going through something difficult because when they tried to rein this piece of themselves in, they lost that struggle. Well, let's take a look at your person's energy here. Let me get a drink real quick. First card for them is most important, the High Priestess. Central for their energy, 9 of Pentacles. Final card is the Star. Man, that makes me look at this slightly differently now. This could be an apology, trying to overcome the problem and the challenge. And I don't know. I think that's you waiting on it. This High Priestess, This is your intuition. This is your gut feelings, the signs, synchronicities, a dream that has a message in it. It's some form of an internal knowing where you don't really have any way of knowing something. You can just feel it. Tell me about this, please. The problem with intuition is most of the time it tells us something that we don't want to hear, something that we don't want to be true, and we don't have any facts to support it. So we tend to like shove it off to the side and try and ignore it. Because hell, we don't want it to be true anyway. I've seen Nine of Swords twice in the underlying energy for you, and that lady is like covering her eyes because there's something she doesn't want to see. Tell me about the High Priestess, please. What is the High Priestess here? First card. Where is this person? I think I have two flipped over in the deck. Yep. Below the surface of that intuition, there's the Empress. This is you just knowing that they've got the birth of something new happening in the background here. It's happening behind you. And yeah, the very next card behind that is Leo energy of Six of Wands, recognition, recognizing something. Yeah, Nine of Swords is right behind that Empress. Intuitively, you can feel that there's the birth of something new. But right behind that is this, yeah, but I don't want that to be true. I'm covering my eyes so I can't see it, but I'm still fearful and worried that it's happening. Queen of Cups, because that's going to hurt. That is going to hurt. When I clarify this High Priestess, I get 5 of Cups, 10 of Wands, 6 of Cups, 6 of Wands. Cup, Wand, Cup, Wand. Like I said, they have some sort of a conflict here. I saw that heavily in your side, and that could be their conflict bleeding over onto you. That could be their conflict causing a conflict for you. This 5 of Cups, sadness, remorse, regrets. This is Scorpio energy. This is the loss of something important. And this could be another connection looming in the background. Yeah, it's connected to 3 of Swords on your side, like heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. I've got both cards about being incredibly sad right here. 10 of Wands, Sagittarius energy of a heavy burden that's being carried. This is something weighing you down, holding you back. And it's a 10, which is a completion energy. This is supposed to be the spot where I lay this burden down and move forward without it. Yes, now that would put you in single energy to do that. But part of the burden here for this person is your personal happiness. For some reason, that's what that's screaming to me. And that puts you at a choice. Like, do I overcome this, or do I overcome the actual problem, which is this person doesn't value me? That's the real problem here, is that they don't value you. It's not that there's something wrong in the relationship that needs overcome. It's that you're in the wrong relationship with the wrong person. 6 of Cups, Scorpio energy again, of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, the good old days, the way it used to be. This is a deep emotional connection, but it can also represent something from the past coming back up again, or happening again, or even a person from the past. Like, if this is feeling like not the first time this problem has arisen here. Struggling with the nostalgia of it all and the way it used to be, but not happy still. 6 of Wands, Leo energy of recognition. We already saw that here, right behind the High Priest, or excuse me, the Empress, the birth of something new. This is you recognizing something, or coming to some sort of a recognition where forward movement happens. But this could also be them having forward movement with someone either that they used to be with in the past, or someone that's not a brand new person. It would be someone that's like, there's some level of history there. Doesn't have to be someone they used to romantically be with. It's just could be someone that is not brand new. It's someone that they know. Nine of Pentacles is central to their energy. It's the other single energy. I got Nine of Cups on your side, emotionally single. This Nine of Pentacles is physically single. Now, I've got the Hierophant as the shared energy and the Ten of Cups as the overall energy, with wife energy behind that. This is not a person who is single. So the other thing this could mean is it's a person who presents themselves as if they're single even when they're not. They present themselves physically as if they're single. Why is the Nine of Pentacles central to Aquarius' person of interest, please? Yep. Jeez. Below the surface of that, Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, holding on tightly to something, not wanting to let go of it. The World. This is the final card of the major arcana. It's the ending of one cycle, and at the same time, the beginning of the next cycle. The ending of one Two of Cups and the beginning of the next. The Two of Cups is Cancer energy. It's a connection between two people, an emotional connection. It's also a two, which represents a choice about the connection or a choice between more than one person. Well, there's something either that they weren't letting go of from their past, or the thing that they don't want to let go of is being single or being able to act single. It's odd here. I've got this. I'm uncertain at this point if this person has a marriage already and this wife energy is that person they're married to and they've started a new connection with you, or if there's still someone from their past that they're holding on to and they're trying to go back that direction. It's one of those two. When I clarify Nine of Pentacles, I get the Hierophant again, the Two of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. The Hierophant is the overall energy. Taurus major arcana card. Marriage, commitment, taking it to the next level, being fully committed. It's very hard to be fully committed and single at the same time. So this is feeling like someone who is in a commitment but acting like they're not in one. Then I get Two of Swords, Libra energy. Twos are choices. This is the decision that needs made, but it hasn't been made yet. The person on the card's blindfolded, which means sometimes I don't have enough information to decide, which is why I haven't. I don't think that's the case at all. If you're married or fully committed to someone, that's plenty of information to decide that you can't act single anymore. The other thing it could represent is blinders that someone has on because there's something they don't want to see, something they don't want to look at, or simply a decision that they don't want to make. It's tied directly to this heavy burden that they're carrying here, though. Next, I get Knight of Wands, the player of the tarot deck. This is someone who's it's a fast-moving energy, passion, desire driven kind of an energy. This can be someone who rushes forward and takes this rapid, passionate action on something they have a lot of passion and desire for. It's called the player of the tarot deck because sometimes this is that person who comes in and tells you everything you want to hear to get what they want, and then they go somewhere else and tell that person everything they want to hear to get what they want there, and they come back and forth playing both sides of the fence. At the minimum, this is an energy of someone who is not fully committed to what they say they want, or they can't stay fully committed, which is very conflicting considering commitment is the shared energy, and the other Hierophant card for commitment is in this same column. So it doesn't necessarily look like they don't stay committed to what they said they want as much as they're in a commitment and they're being a player and they have a choice to make between two people and they don't want to make it. It's also looking like they're either running back to their past or there is a past history of them being a player and being in and out and back and forth. Next, I get the Ace of Wands, which is a passionate new beginning, and new beginning and passion and desire. It's an ace, it's an opportunity. I've got the physical opportunity out here right between two different parts of your person. This is the phallic symbol of the deck. It represents the male you-know-what and using it to do you-know-what and sexual energy and all that fun stuff. I've got the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Wands all out here on the table right now. Directly across, I've got recognition about the wand. And on your side, 10 of Swords, swift, painful ending. Ending I don't see coming, ending in betrayal. Tied directly to wand energy in a commitment. Probably someone acting single when they aren't. Final card for your person is the Star. This is the Aquarius Major Arcana card. This is a card of hope. It's a card of healing. It can be a card of wish fulfillment. It's also the card that comes immediately after the Tower in the sequence of the cards. So you don't make it to the Star without the collapse of the Tower happening first. The Tower is usually the collapse of what was, and the Star is the hope for the new, hope for what's to come, hope for the future. Tell me more about the Star. Why is that the final card here? Aquarius' personal interest. Below the surface of that, the Empress, the birth of something new. So like I said, the Star is usually the hope for the future. Here's the birth of something new. Looks like that was happening behind you until it got recognized. Damn, I didn't go far enough. Was below that recognition is the Four of Wands, the stability of the home, the family, the connection. Behind that, Five of Pentacles, abandonment, breakup, being cast aside, discarded. This is breakup kind of an energy. It's a 5, it's a conflict. 5 of Swords. This is betrayal. This is, at its core, it's a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. And then there's the Husband energy. Finally, see the Husband energy. Buried way, way deep below the surface behind breakup and betrayal. And right behind that is options and choices and confusion about the options and choices. The Devil was right behind that. When I clarify the Star, I get the Ace of Cups, the 8 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, and the High Priestess. Ace of Cups is a new beginning in love and emotions. Well, the opportunity is here, right between their two faces. And I've got Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, opportunity for passion, desire, new beginning, opportunity for emotional new beginning. Again, kind of hard to be in fully committed relationship and have a new cup at the same time, especially if you're not acting single when you're not. Come here. Next, we get this 8 of Wands. This is Sagittarius energy. Very fast forward movement. A lot of passion, desire. This can be like rapid back and forth passionate communications happening. Rapid movement or progress on something there's a lot of passion, desire for. Can just represent a whole lot happening all at once. This could be something coming out of left field. Could just be things moving very, very quickly. And there's this choice that they have to make connected to that, and they're not making it. The choice is between commitment and being a player, new cup, commitment, burdened by all of that. Next, I get 7 of Wands, so we're going backwards from the 8 to the 7. Passion and desire is going down slightly. This is Leo energy. It's defensive energy. This is like defending their position, defending their stance, fighting to protect something that they want or something that's important to them. Looks like it can be defending myself against accusations, Could be you're calling them a player and they're saying, no, I'm not doing what you're saying I'm doing. I don't believe that for a second. This could just be them fighting to protect being able to be a player, or the thing that they want could be something or someone from their past or someone that they have some kind of history with, and that's what they're fighting for. And then I get the High Priestess. So their side started off with the High Priestess and it ends with the High Priestess. So I feel like nothing I've told you isn't something you don't already know. It's just a matter of, most of the time we don't want to hear what our intuition is telling us, so we try to ignore it. So you probably already knew everything that I already said here. It's just a matter of, did you want to believe it or not? That's the only real question I have. But I've got this, like, their defensiveness. You already know that they're being defensive about something that they actually did, because you know that the wand was out. You recognize that via your intuition. It's like your intuition like told you everything, is what that feels like. And then we've got this, you still struggling with the thing that's in the way and wanting to overcome it. The problem is, the thing that needs overcome is them and your desire for them. That's what really needs to be coming to an end, because they don't value you the same way that you value them.